Should I grab the eagle? Okay, give me a minute, friends. All of a sudden I'm like hitting the wall and I'm kind of tired. Okay. Chat. Live chat, live chat, live chat. Okay, let me see this. Let me turn this on. Okay, where is it? I'm almost there, you guys. I'm sorry, I'm just... Whew! I know, it's been crazy, crazy day. Okay, I think I'm ready. Hi, you guys. We're all here together. Everybody's safe? Hi, Katrina, Lucian, Beth, Patricia. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Rick. Yes, Wise Liz D. What a day. Hi, Cartomancy. Bonnie. Hi, Impish. Just call me Miss Cleo again. Hi, Tarot Love Community. I just love that we have someone in our community that has, you know, love and tarot in their name. And community. Hi, Paisley. Lori. Hey, from the Cancer Ward in St. John's. We wish you the very best. Lori, I hope we can all bring something uplifting your way. So much love for you, Lori. I'm glad that you're here. Nancy Lee, finally caught alive. Yay. Okay, Connie, Pamela. So, Steve Myers. Okay, I'm sorry. I am starting to zone out. I just keep looking at the dates. Yes, Pamela, prayers and healing, bright light to all the families of the victims of today. All their families, all of our allies. All of our allies, too, working so hard, still in concert with us to get out. I saw that Canada, I almost said Canada. Canada wrapped things up. All of our allies have been by our side for 20 years. So whenever someone talks about this endless war, don't forget about all the nations who came together and stood up with us to be at our side this entire time. Even when our nation elected, not really, Don Julio as they still stood by our side. We have got great, wonderful friends and allies. We should never, ever feel separated from them, even though the prior administration tried to do all that. They haven't stopped, and neither have all the people on the ground in Afghanistan. All the Afghans who stood with us, hundreds of thousands trying to help us out, because I cannot even imagine what it's been like to live there for the last 20 years. I'm so happy that they have schools, and I'm so happy that there are young girls who've been able to escape because education was so important to them. Their robotics team, I guess, in Afghanistan is the cream of the crop. They made it to Mexico. They're out. This time it's different, though. It is very different, even though the media is trying to paint a picture like this is the first time we've heard of the Taliban. It's the first time we ever saw war in Afghanistan. Well, you know what? The past administration, do you remember Donald and daughter went to receive the bodies of soldiers who died? I don't know if it was in Afghanistan or not. And after that, Donald ended all coverage of our soldiers who were killed from being covered in the media. I don't know how we got away with that, but yeah, it's like all talk of war just ended. And then, here it's back. Look what happened on Biden's watch. We all know there's a bigger story. Everybody knows the bigger story. Everybody does. All of us together are so much bigger than that which we see. And all of us together feeling that incredible grief and helplessness and powerlessness over what's going on, and we still can't end this. Well, there's two things to that. It's been the military-industrial complex, the GOP, who have kept us sunk there. I'm like, you can almost feel these chains and hooks that are in our nation's soul, in our pocketbooks, keeping us pinned to the ground there. Biden is removing the chains, dismantling those hooks, but there are those that want to keep us there. And it's like all of a sudden we've got all these terror groups that have regenerated, like little gremlins that got wet and they repopulated again from that movie way back when. Terrifying. I could not stand the gremlins because they would just keep reproducing every time they got a splash of water on them. But magically, oh my gosh, we have a moved up deadline, and magically all of these terror organizations are back again. They've always been around, but there's so much staging going on, and I'm sure that all of you guys know it. Let me check in with you guys. How are you guys doing? Yes, it has been very nerve-wracking. Very nerve-wracking. Yes, Tara Love, pass around the popsicles. I would like red or orange, or blue or purple, please. Thank you. Hi, you guys. Connie Brown, the roots of the war is resurfacing too. Bush, Cheney, and others are going to be in the forefront. Yeah, and haven't you noticed? Like, I noticed before this happened, I'm like, well, Liz Cheney's been kind of quiet. And now what does the GOP do with Liz Cheney? You're out. We hate you. And then it's like, oh, wait, maybe we should support her. What are they going to do? They want us back in the war so badly. Okay. Oh, pina colada. That sounds so good. Okay. So, and despite all the terribleness of today, how refreshing is it to have a president who's a patriot, who can speak clearly about the plan and what's going on in the history, calling out people when they need to be called out. Peter Doocy, again. Biden was made for this job and this position. We have so many things in the cosmos and the historic timeline of things that everything is coming crashing together right now. I would like to share two other pieces of nice news. I was very happy to hear this. Although Katherine Johnson passed away several years ago, I'm not sure exactly when. Katherine Johnson, if you saw the movie Hidden Figures, she's the talent, the brains, the math. True story. Working at NASA, when we were in the space wars, the race to the moon, it was her calculations that really propelled NASA to the foreground and beat the Russians. Extraordinary talent. Our technology and our science blossomed in the 60s because of her. Because of her, she propelled us so far forward in technology in so many ways. It's her birthday today, so happy birthday, Katherine Johnson. And then I just saw that popular president, Hillary Clinton, she herself, she is paying to fly women out of Afghanistan who want to be out. Talented women, professional women. She is flying them out. So, yay to the divine feminine. That's pretty awesome. So last night I stayed up late and I was, doing Terrascope after Terrascope after Terrascope after Terrascope because I knew something big was going to crash through Washington, D.C. today. I didn't know what exactly. And there's going to be another big shift tomorrow, I think, in Afghanistan. I hope it's not deadly. I hope it's just transformational. There's a lot that's going to shift in Afghanistan tomorrow. So we have that. So be prepared, you guys. We haven't had to live with so many shocks at once, and it's all playing out right now. But when I was doing my check-ins last night, trying to get a feel for where we are, what was going on, that song Beautiful Day by YouTube kept screaming through my head. I'm like, okay, I'm going to listen to it on the YouTube, and I'm still working. Then I could like hear jet planes like at an airport. And so then I look up to watch the video. I was like, oh, they're filming at an airport. He's standing on a tarmac. They're all on the tarmac, and there's planes flying all over them. And the story is Beautiful Day. I felt like Spirit was screaming at me, hey, there's a lot going on over there. You cannot lose sight of the beauty of what's going on, because something, yes, is coming to an end. When things end and things begin anew, it's traumatic. A lot of things get destroyed, but the sun is shining. If we want to get where we want to get going, we can't forget that even though it sucks, it is a beautiful day. It is a beautiful day. Our eyes are open. Our hearts are open. Our mind is clear. Despite all of the propaganda that we've been fed for 5 or 6 years, one thing we can all agree on, for all of us who were here on 9/11 and when we first learned about the Taliban, that stuff is seared into our brains. Everybody, I am telling you, everyone, the anti-vaxxers, the MAGAs, the Q-turds, what are they? All of them have the same thing seared into their memories that we do. This is where we are solidly unified. And even though there's groups of them that want to be totally pro-Trumpy, they cannot bring themselves to embrace the Taliban. And I know the media is working really hard to do that. I cannot believe the guy who's being installed at the top of the government in Afghanistan is getting splashed all over the front pages. Like, we should know his name and like his opinion matters. Really, Washington Post, you have a picture of him and his opinion at the top? No. We all know that is just wrong. And the disparity, it's like how divided we've become all of this time. It's kind of, this event is gone, merged us back to one, because it's undeniable. The fury and anger we all feel. 20 years, this is not a popular war. And they're trying to sell it otherwise. That's not going to fly this time. It's not going to fly for a bunch of reasons. Okay? So, trying to remember that it's a beautiful day. Spirit came very clear with that. The other song that kept coming to my mind is from Fleetwood Mac. What is it called? Chain of... I can't remember what the lyrics are about. I had a weird yellow screen pop up. Breaking the chain. Thank you. I'm still here. Okay. That was really weird. I've never seen that before. But then this evening, this pissed me off. That song Gloria came on. You know, the Trumpy song. He was always playing. That they were playing on January 6th. And I'm like, oh, they really think they are like happy right now with what's going on. They're celebrating. I don't know what that song is about. I looked really quickly and it had to do, they said it has to do with the love that a family has for one another dealing with addiction. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay. Oh, here, look at this. Look, my eagle. Did you ever see these things? They balance. I'll show you the bottom. They just balance. So here's my eagle. Here's my flag. Here's my medal. Let's look at this another time. Again. World War II. My grandpa's medal. The United States of America. Freedom from fear and want. Freedom of speech and religion. 1941 to 1945. The Greatest Generation. Reestablished the world order. And there are those that don't like it. And here we are now. So we're going to put this back in my little dish. Put this back over here. Oh, I magnetized? What do you mean I magnetized? That's weird. Okay. Okay, so let's just take a great big deep breath together. And just really feel your diaphragm, sit up straight and just really feel that diaphragm. Release it and just let it breathe really deeply. Your diaphragm is ruled by Saturn. So if you're feeling a little out of breath, a little afraid, because yeah, we feel anxious when we're lacking oxygen. Turn to your diaphragm. Saturn, the obstacles that you're facing, the fear that you feel like you're running up against. One way, one remedy, quick, deep breath, focus on that diaphragm, and just let it do its work, okay? And it helps the lungs too, so there you go. Okay, so, hi, greeter. Okay, so some things to talk about. I know it was really crazy. I do have to tell you, the readings I did this week are really, really, really helpful. There's a part 1 and a part 2. Part 1 is 2,500 troops and 18,000 contractors. Then I got cut off in the middle of it, and then I continued at part 2 with 18,000 contractors. Basically, I summarized the history of our troop status along a timeline and what's going on in Afghanistan and when decisions were made, you know, and in the end there were 2,500 troops left. They were left between Iraq and Afghanistan, so we were spread even more thin, but yet there were 18,000 contractors on the ground. I think I just did a live yesterday, or maybe it finished yesterday in the wee hours, and that was doing the Terrascope full moon over Kabul, because it was telling a big, huge story. And I started off, and I was re-listening to it today, starting around 8.5 minutes, and I was like, oh my gosh, rehearing the story of what was going on there and what I was expecting explained so much of today. So much of it. I was shocked. It was kind of amazing. So I am picking up and continuing from there, because what happened today, given all this stuff, I wasn't totally shocked. I know I was sick to my stomach Monday night when I looked at the full moon over Kabul and DC and started doing the terrascopes. I was sick to my stomach because I something was happening. I was very afraid of a terror attack. Oh my goodness, thank you, Martine, so much. And there it is. So that happened. We're in a new era, a new stage. Okay, so we have those things. I have some cards along the top here because I'm still very angry at Seth Moulton and Representative Meyer. I looked at that some more. Not good. So what I wanted to do tonight was talk a little bit about the asteroids because it's, of course, they're really amazing. And speaking of asteroids, Holly did an excellent summary of the 2 asteroids at the top of the chart on the midheaven, the MC, and on the ascendant for the United States. We have Cybele at the top, and then we have Aernitas. The stories she tells, it is so comforting and soothing to read because of who is in charge of our nation, and this is what he's being graced with. Long-term, eternal, ancient goddess, ancient healing. And it's really interesting to me because for the last couple weeks, the Buddhas of, I don't know how to say it, Bamira, it's the 2 giant Buddhas. They're like 100 feet tall, carved into the stone of the Afghan mountains. They have been around since maybe 600 BCE. I don't know why they started speaking to me. The Talibs blew them up in 2001. Thank you, Impish. Oh my goodness, thank you. I didn't see that other one. Thank you so much. They blew them up in 2001. Bamira, these giant rock Buddhas, huge. The Talibis blew them up. In fact, they took Afghan local ones and forced them to carry the dynamite to those statues and blew them up to smithereens. But the energy, it keeps singing and talking to me, and I keep seeing them like they're assembled, and they're like these giant creatures taller than the mountain than they are carved into, and they're like taking a step, and they're like looking around, surveying the area, and ready to walk forward. So like I feel like that's the divine feminine energy as well, because one has to do with the masculine and one has to do with the feminine, and the one is Mother Earth, the other one is the male energy, and what he represents, I have written down somewhere. I'm not even trying to say what he represents because it's such the perfect word. Oh crap. You guys, I'm buffering weird. Okay. Am I back? For entertainment purposes only, we love YouTube. YouTube is amazing. Yes, Nancy Lee, he absolutely did. He did. He absolutely did. I've talked about that before. It is documented. I can find resources. He's absolutely connected to it. Chat, I'm having a hard time about the 5th time. Is it my connection? Steve Myers. Okay, thank you, Steve. Watch later. Yes, and I hope you feel the love that I do from all of you. Yes. This is a vortex of love. Just 1 second, let the dog out. Okay. I feel like even my dog knew something was up, because he's been like kind of weird clingy. Okay. I do want to talk about asteroids, but I had to write this down because I wanted you guys to see how extraordinary 2020 was astrologically and just why it sucked so bad. I keep saying that. These are like the highlights of stuff happening. This one we started off the year with eclipses. I always say we had 6 eclipses in 2020. Actually, we had 5, but if the year was 370 days long, we would have had 6. We had 6 eclipses, which kind of means we were basically in eclipse energy all year, just starting with the eclipses, because, you know, eclipses are active as you lead up to it during that month, and like then the next month, like trigger stuff. Usually we have 4. We had 6. We had a Saturn-Pluto conjunction. That happens every 35 years. In Capricorn, like the one that we had, that goes back like 7,000 years. This is hard enough to deal with anyways. Then we had the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction. Usually when we have these every 13 years, they come together once and they cross paths, and that's it. It took a couple of them for me to find where you had 2. I didn't go back far enough to find out when we had 3, because Jupiter and Pluto were so close going. They crossed, they retrograded, crossed again. Every 13 years, one time, we got 3. Jupiter-Pluto, it's the thing that brought down Hitler and Mussolini. But this has a very much a militaristic, extremist philosophy, Pluto, destruction, devastation. Used properly, the Jupiter-Pluto could be such a transformative, divinely inspired awakening. You use the energies of Pluto, that power, that control, the transformation, to be able to hold a staff of Pluto and wield that power and do it responsibly in faith, you're good. But the minute you use Pluto to abuse, be an autocrat, dictator, Jupiter is going to come along, because that's the one of faith, healing, and miracles, and is going to say, bye-bye. So the autocrats came across 3 times last year developing their crap after we had eclipses and a Saturn-Pluto conjunction. But again, this is once every 13 years. The last time we had it in Capricorn, I think, was 500 years ago. And the Divine Feminine kicked us off in the November. So that kind of, I don't even know the last time we had a Venus-Jupiter conjunction at the Galactic Center. That's rare. That was our saving grace. And then we ended the year with the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction, the Christmas star. This happens about every 20 years. The last time we had an Aquarius was in the year 1405. And when in Aquarius, it is responsible for the rise and fall of royalty, changes in power. In Aquarius, this is very humanitarian. We have a North Node in Gemini. It takes 18 years for the North Node to go through for a North Node return. So the North Node was in Gemini just months after 9/11. And here we are again, 20 years later, same players, we're at a North Node return. This stuff is going to come out. And next year is our Pluto return. How often have we had these? Never. In the United States, it's our first one every 245 years. So when I say I know 2020 super duper sucked, I'm kind of glad because it forced us to deal with all this crap ahead of time. So hopefully at our return, we're on the other side, the transformational, healing, wonderful side. New birth, the American Renaissance side. This is in February. And then it's going to take, some time for this to click through, go through the zodiac until we're totally in a new position, okay? But you guys, it's been tough. It's been really, really, really hard. So when we think about the big picture, it's amazing we're still standing. It's amazing we have President Biden. It's amazing our economy is doing well. It's amazing we're functioning as well as we are. So just gotta be easy with one another, patience with one another. We are going to get through this. Okay? How you guys doing? Yes, we got our astrological butts kicked last year, Deb. And with all this too, it's the ushering in of the age of Aquarius. I can't believe I forgot to say that part. Yeah, it's ushering in of that time. It's all new. And we are all standing at the cusp of all of this in this great big unknown, oohing and eyeing, looking out at the great unknown. And there's so much creative, positive potential out there. That's why I started doing our new moon intentions, so we could get ourselves on the same footing as we went through this crucible. Oh my gosh, what's going on now? Am I here? Okay, I'm not showing up on my screen. Oh boy, that's far. Just a second. And now I'm gone. I'm sorry, you guys. I just don't understand why I'm having a problem. No, over here. Okay, I think I'm good now. Yes, we had our butts handed to us, and we're all here. Your focus is so important, you guys. I have to turn off the media because they're just so annoying, so incredibly annoying. So this is what we've been through. Let's talk about asteroids. The asteroids were really kind of insane. I haven't been able to complete any of these, but all these by any means. Let me move this over here. But wow, do they tell a story. So I have, this is the full moon over Washington, D.C. and in Kabul. I did, all the cards as per usual. In Washington, D.C., the sun is hidden, again, in the 12th house of secrets. Our president is very comfortable working with these hidden energies, the blind spots where you can't see things, because he has some planets there, and he's smart. And he's very strategic. This is here. Oh, Donald's ascendant is 29 degrees, Leo. That is interesting. We had Mars really close to the edge, the ascendant here. It had just risen last week, but since the full moon, it's progressed, and now today it's shot through past our ascendant, which was at 17 Virgo. It's going to join the Mercury at the full moon tomorrow as well. The sun is doing wonky things over here as well tomorrow in Kabul, so I just don't even know what to expect. In Washington, D.C., the ascendant is ruled by Mercury because we got Virgo here. The top of the chart is 15 Gemini, also ruled by Mercury. A lot of mercurial things. So, again, Holly talked about the asteroid Cybele. Amazing. It's pinned there in the live, from the live I did the other day. And I think it's eternal. Okay, but looking at USA's, we have the top of the chart, the sun's highest point of the day, where we're led to, the thing hanging over Washington, D.C. in the skies, 15 Gemini, 42. The asteroid Isis at the full moon was at 14 degrees, 59 minutes. So Isis, she's actually a goddess. She's actually amazing, but I can't stand that they call themselves Isis. She crossed over the midhead. Here's Isis. Oh gosh. What else do we have here? So, the other thing that happened today, I mentioned this in a tweet. The North Node, here at 6 Gemini, the North Node, that's the new moon eclipses, the solar eclipses, That's where the energy is going. That's our futures. I don't know if you want to say it's fated, but that's kind of like destiny, because that's where all the astrological energies are going. So 6 Gemini. The asteroid Heracles, I know they say Heracles. It's also for Hercules. It just kind of got changed around over time. Also it's 6 Gemini, which is kind of like a Herculean effort we've had trying to evacuate everyone. I think this is why it's just so incredibly impressive. But here's the thing. This North Node at 6 Gemini is exactly opposite the planet Mars, the planet of war, at that Saturn-Pluto conjunction. This is the big reset for world power and structure of governments. So this North Node at Gemini is here for a little while. So it's going to keep triggering off this huge reset, okay? And right now, opposite that, at 7 degrees Gemini, or Sagittarius, is Potomac, USA defenses. This is President Biden saying, I'm going to do whatever I can to defend our home. He has the Mars energy from the Saturn-Pluto conjunction, giving him that ability to fight for us and defend home, because he can see where things are going, 6 Gemini, opposite of our interests. And we're going to put everything we can with a Herculean effort to make sure our defenses are good and they're okay. That was one. I talked the other night. I was really pissed off because at the very bottom of this chart, like, this is home base. This is your dugout. These are your people. This is your clan. This is who you defend. You fight for home. This is your guard is up. And this is also your karma and your ancestors. This is who you are. So at the bottom of the chart, we have 16 degrees Sagittarius. That's Donald Trump's Wuhan asteroid. If you remember the Wuhan asteroid, speaking of that Asholio asteroid, Wuhan, prominent in Pearl Harbor, 9/11, the 1918 plague, and of course, COVID. Right at the bottom of the chart, Donald shares that same degree of Wuhan with important parts of China and Russia's horoscope. So that is him planning some bullshittery here to hurt the United States at her core, at her most important point of defense. He's there stirring up crap with the Russia-China. And over here in Kabul, we have the asteroid China at the top of the chart in the skies over Kabul. So we knew that was happening. Furthermore, the Wuhan, remember when I used to have to say woo-woo because I couldn't say Wuhan on YouTube without horribly buffering? Asteroid Wuhan, creating a mess, is at 19 degrees Gemini. That's where the North Node was on January 6th. Same as Holio's, different month. Same crap, different town. Ugh. We're back to this again. So that is active. Oh my gosh, listen to this. I have to get my USA chart. Where are you, USA? Oh yeah, I have to show you this too. No, I don't want that one. No, these are progress charts. I want the easy charts. Okay. Let me look one more time. I want the easy USA chart. No. That's a solar return. Now I have to drag all these out. I got these all organized. USA, USA. I know you're on the Saturn Jupiter. Where's the Saturn Jupiter? Oh my goodness. Nope. Okay. Oh my gosh. So annoying. Okay, well then I think I might have, do I have to draw this? I have to draw it. Okay, so I'm just going to draw it over this. The United States chart is a circle. The eastern horizon, the western horizon. This is the top. I mean, you can technically call this north and south. So the eastern horizon gives life to a chart like when you took your first breath when you were born and a horoscope was cast. This gives you life. We all strive to get to the top of our chart and who we are. On the USA chart, the top of her chart is 1 degree Libra. Libra has to do with the scales of justice. That is how our nation is known. Justice, the scales of justice. In fact, Saturn in Libra is exalted. It acts very fine. And now we have this exalted Saturn authority with the law in our 10th house. And the sky's over us. And I think this is intercepted, so it really is very well established. But 1 degree Libra. I'm looking at these asteroids, and who shows up? Oh, come on. Where are you? Nope. Here. Oh, look, it's right here. Who shows up at 1 Libra? Elaine Chao. Chao is 1 Libra. At the top of the USA chart, Kabul has China over here. We also, at 1 Libra, okay, so you know I have ping tang and ping tung. That's for like ping, getting intercepted. Well, I also have Tweedledee, Tweedledum. Yeah, because these two follow commands and talk to each other. Tweedledee is the one that demands loyalty, doing whatever Tweedledee dumb things they're doing. Tweedledee is also at 1 Libra. Shame on her. The other thing that's going on, this is kind of mind-blowing. No, that's not it. Okay. So, I'm going to show you this chart. It's kind of messy. Just look at this circle, this inner circle here. This is the chart. Well, I'm just going to first tell you that in the United States chart right here, in the 9th house, lands far away. This has to do with philosophy, so think extremists. We have Neptune, the planet of disillusion, inspiration, spirituality, but also gaslighting, disillusionment, gaslighting, lying, deception in the USA chart. And this is in the 9th area. Lands far away, law enforcement, our laws. This is at 22 degrees Virgo. I've often said this planet for me represents white supremacy. On the day of the insurrection, when those windows were cracked and the Capitol was breached, at the very top of the chart is USA natal Neptune. Natal Neptune. 22. That's it. So our nation was born with some white supremacy tendencies. Curious. And now Neptune has traveled, and it's exactly 22 degrees, might be 23 Pisces, exactly opposite of it. That's why all this stuff is coming up again, because of the tension where it's opposite. But the thing is, it has clouded the ground, but we've gotten really clear on what's going on, and people are getting arrested for that. But there's no doubt about it. This Neptune is white supremacy. It's the insurrection planet in our USA natal chart. Well, guess who came up at 22 degrees Virgo at this one? We have Coke came up at 22 Virgo. Funding all this stuff. Because you know he does all this crap. Where I know I've got some more. I know I have some more. You know what? When I see them, I'll tell you. We have D&I Haynes, our Director of Intelligence. Now, she's at 21 degrees Virgo. She precedes them by 1 degree. She is that close on knowing the intelligence of what's going on here. They got a plan, you guys. They know a lot. And I'm going to talk some more about how the big one. The Saturn-Pluto conjunction. The Great Reset. On the ascendant, we had 1 degrees Taurus in Washington, D.C. at the top. We had 17 degrees Capricorn, and then we had all those planets, Saturn, Pluto, the Sun, Mercury, then Venus and Aquarius over here. But this is forever crowning Washington, D.C. The transformation of power, structures of government. Going forward, the U.S. has it in the skies above her, the authority to do all of these things. So this 17 degrees Capricorn always stands out like a sore thumb to me at any horoscope I look at. Because also at the bottom, this was 17 Cancer. And at the time, that was the George Washington asteroid. So it was like George Washington is here to help us with our reset. But at this full moon Aquarius, the asteroid Hylonom, I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, 17 degrees Capricorn. It's important in Washington, D.C. Hylonom is known for suicide. Think suicide bomber. That was at the full moon. Even though it's not at this chart of the full moon, it triggered here at the reset of world power and structure and governments. Suicide bomber. I thought, oh my goodness. Now I gotta draw another one. Donald's chart. His ascendant thing that gives him life is 29 degrees Leo. He was born. The top of his chart is 24 degrees Taurus. Interesting. So when his biggest goal, then, what calls to him the highest office in the land is what the 10th house represents. What's crowning his chart? Well, 24 Taurus has to do, obviously, it's a money sign. It's a stubborn sign. Our last Saturn, Pluto, no. Our last Saturn, Jupiter, because they're every 20 years. Our last Saturn, Jupiter, the rise and fall of leadership, was in the year 2000 at 24 degrees Taurus. He had that power, that thing exactly conjunct the top of his chart in 2000. I think this either happened like in May or July of 2000. That's why he's been able to do whatever he wants and feels like he's got the wind at his sails and, you know, it's his gut instinct. It's like, no, they're planets and you suck. What did I say one time? No, even plankton do that. They know. They can follow the gravity of other planets. So this is his highest point in Washington, D.C. then is at 24 degrees. But he always has crap going on at 23 degrees Taurus. Like recently I was talking about how whatever he had, I mean, it was just being a total terror to the institutions of justice and the law. It might have been like the asteroid Aotearoa, which is like and Phaethon, which are like out of control, warp speed, just drilling through the ninth house of the law. So at this full moon, there were things that were at 23 degrees Taurus, conjunct this 24 Taurus, Donald's highest point in his natal chart. Oh, this pissed me off so much. There is, well, this one, Itokawa, I like this. This asteroid was conjunct there. Itokawa is the asteroid that has to do with going down in defeat, the beginning of a bad experience. It's like a milestone. So that today was conjunct Donald's midheaven, this terror attack. He likes his terror attacks. So was the asteroid Kushnerik. That's my Kushner asteroid. So he's in on it. But the other thing, that hotel that had an explosion. When I saw that it was named Barron, I was like, that's him, John Barron. That was a sign. It was a signal that was sent. So the Barron Hotel exploded. That is also at 23 degrees Taurus today. You cannot make this stuff up. Okay, speaking of people I'm mad at, let's talk about Seth Moulton. Oh my gosh. I'm so mad at him. I keep, wanting to believe he's not like that. Okay, so he and Representative Meyer, Seth Moulton is a Democrat from Boston, Massachusetts. They just showed up out of the blue down there 2 days ago, I think, 3 days ago, down in Kabul to survey what's going on. They took a commercial flight to the UAE while they're trying to work on a $3.5 trillion infrastructure plan. It's like, we've got stuff going on. And then no one reported how they got on a military flight to Kabul, but they did, Eric Prince. And then they just showed up, unannounced, unauthorized. Took some seats from some Afghanis on the way back home. Ridiculous. That's more I'm going to get into tonight. There's an asteroid called Moulton. Actually, it's Multona. Think of Seth Moulton's name with an A. He is also here at 12 degrees Scorpio. So he's next to there. And then Poseidon is 13 degrees Scorpio. And China's right there at 15. They're all in on it. They're so mad at him. Black Moon Lilith, Dark Moon Lilith, the deepest pain. I think about all the Afghani women and the pain that they've endured the past 20 years. That type of pain, being left, abandoned, horrible. Conjunct that today, asteroid Incidentia, like an incident happened. We also have the asteroid Israel. The meeting with President Biden got interrupted between the PM of Israel and him at the White House today. So those are just some asteroids I found today. Do you guys have any questions so far? Because I know it's been a horrible day. I'm gonna move this over to my done pile. I said I wouldn't look at this, but you know who else had 12 Scorpio at the top of the chart? When the 9 Trump lawyers were referred for disbarment, we've got 12 degrees there. Oh, that's a Seth Moulton degree. 16 degrees. Oh, that is an important number. My gosh, I'll look at those later. There's a lot in this chart. There's a lot. They're in so much trouble. Okay, let's check in and see how are you guys doing. Will August 31st be bad? I think every day is up for grabs. August 31st. When is our quarter moon? Let me get my because you have to understand the way I work with lunations, and it seems to me this is true. It's kind of like the energies are set at every lunation. So even though it's trending to, yeah, it's going to be bad, something will change. What day is it? I just want to see when is our quarter moon. So we're going to have a quarter moon. Holy crap, you guys. It's going to be consequential indeed, because that quarter moon we have, the sun will be in Virgo. I got to erase this stuff. I don't know what day the 30th. Okay, so the 30th. Okay. We are going to have a quarter moon. This will be our third quarter moon. And it's going to be on Monday, August 30th. The sun is going to be 7 Virgo. The moon will be 7 Gemini. This is basically going to be conjunct the North Node, so it's super consequential. And both of these are going to be in square to the Mars from the Great Reset, from the Saturn-Pluto, when that Mars was late degree 6 Sag. This is going to be another eclipse trigger. By that on its own, I haven't even looked at the eclipse charts. So is August 31st going to be a bad day? Well, the moon, where's Mars? Oh, Jesus. So Mars is going to be about 20 degrees Virgo. On the 31st, the moon is probably going to be about 20 degrees Gemini. Okay, what's going to happen? Let's grab some cards. Things can change so much. I haven't used these in so long. We want to look at August 31st. Today was pretty bad. Today was, let's do the 26th. You know what? Today was terrible. Let's do 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 is the quarter moon, and then the 31st is the day that we leave. Okay, I will tell you, Biden sticking to this date has put our enemies under so much stress. He is stuck by that. He's tried to be kind of flexible. He has a way of trying to throw everybody off. And he certainly has put a lot of people under a lot of stress. Hello, we've got Moulton and Meyer pop up in Kabul, trying to figure out what the F is going on down here. This is the panic that he causes by sticking with this date no matter what, because it is putting our enemies under so much stress, and they're making dumb mistakes. They finally regathered themselves, so to speak, today to do what they did, and then, I can't stand how the press keeps saying, oh, we're working with the Talibs, because that's what Donald was doing. That's normalizing working with, palling around with terrorists. But like he said, I had always suspected if they didn't get it done by the 31st, he wouldn't care. He would go get them anyway. And that's the thing. He also has mentioned twice. I'm sorry. This is why I want to read it. He has mentioned twice. This was very pointed. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. He has mentioned twice. Afghanistan doesn't have an airport. Then he stutters. He might use that and says Afghanistan doesn't have an air force. The people who do are Pakistan, and Pakistan, they better not come in. He also said Leave our people alone. Don't touch us. Well, look what happened. We know our enemies want us in a war. There is a much bigger plan that is going on. So don't get freaked out that, oh my gosh, we're going to a war. He said in his last speech, we need to stop doing stuff like this. We need to work from a counterterrorism effort, which is kind of the asymmetrical game. We're getting bogged down with tangible weaponry and people on the ground where we can do this in a much more streamlined way. So I need to know why. I'm going to put this aside. I'm sorry. Why did Biden emphasize the fact, Afghanistan doesn't have an airport? He said it twice. Okay. Well, thank you so much. He said, Afghanistan, let me think about that. Afghanistan doesn't have an air force. That was so deliberate. Okay, I have to write this out or I'll forget. I see how I'm supposed to do this. Afghanistan doesn't have an air force. They do not have an air force. These are the secret doors. So if you were playing on a game show and you had to pick a door, this is why I said there's no Air Force and this is my secret plan. Pick a door. Pick a door, any doors. Let's see what happens. And he targeted that with a message. This is the message to the Russia-China. This is the message to the Talibs. Talibs, Paki, let's just say ISIS, Al-Qaeda. This was a message to all you guys because this is what's going to knock you off your feet. This is the thing you don't want to mess with, okay? So that's what I want to know. These two cards fell out. So he said twice. Let me repeat. There's no Air Force. There is no Air Force. There's no Air Force. There's no Air Force, he says. Did you hear him? He's going to even stutter for us on purpose. These are the 4 things why he said they have no Air Force. Talking to you, Talibs. Paki. Oh, wait. Oh, I need to add one. Okay. You can't forget him. You don't have any Air Force, and this is my plan. Pay attention, ISIS, Al-Qaeda. Because this is the big one. This is a big one. Boom, 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 boom. And it's going to affect Russia, China, how? It'll hit you how? It's going to hit you like this. And the ISIS. Now, SALEH. He was the vice president. President Ghani fled. In the Afghanistan Constitution, it states clearly, if a president flees the nation, I mean, it's really bad when you have to put that in a constitution. If you flee the nation, which he did, the vice president becomes the caretaker president. They're the president. There is an Afghanistan constitution that Don Julio and Pompeo disregarded negotiated with terrorists to install them at the top of the Afghanistan government, which is a coup. This is like their coup, and nobody in the MSM is calling them out because they have a president. SALEH. He and the Afghan resistance are up in the mountains. They are preparing. I will tell you, since 2020, yeah, there's been a plan in case the worst happens. So, there's no Air Force. What does this mean to... I have to use a different deck. He said that. What did he mean? Ooh. What did he mean then to Sally? SALEH. He, I think his name is Amrullah. AMRULLAH. SALEH. Number 2. He has a Twitter. He has a Twitter and he posts stuff once in a while. He posted today. He is such a good man. The person that led their military, he is devoted to fighting the Talibs because they're monsters. He hates them. He will not share a ceiling with them. He will never forget that the night before 9/11, his leader, I don't know if his dad, someone, their heroic leader was killed by the Talibs. Like the night before 9/11. I haven't gotten back to that yet. They knew Afghanistan there was going to be retaliation by the United States hitting, and they didn't want to have to fight that guy because that guy was a hero. So, Biden says Afghanistan does not have an Air Force. What does this mean? Talking to the audience of him. Oh, that reminds me. When our Defense Department, DOD Austin, and the other gentleman held a press conference last week, and they said, why didn't you retake, I don't know, I guess it was the old airport that was shut down. And Austin said, that's a really good question. Why did that happen? I will tell you, the tarot's been showing me they wanted to keep it shut down because whatever was going to happen, people were going to run for the airports. And I think they've got something staged there with like satellites or transmissions or communications. Like with him. Shh. For entertainment purposes only. I could be wrong. Hi, Larry. What is it? Bagram. Yes. Okay. These 2 cards fell out. They don't have an Air Force. We've got the King of Pentacles reverse. The funder. The money behind what's going on in Afghanistan. This is also a broke Donald with no money. The 8 of Cups reversed. We're coming back. We are going to revisit this place. You guys don't have air defense. You're stuck on the ground. It's going to leave you people on the ground spinning in circles. You don't have an Air Force. The Ace of Cups is the very coveted thing that is wanted so badly. And, look at all that equipment, weaponry we left there. Reversed. Wah wah. The 5 of Swords kind of leaves you guys like sitting ducks. Meaning, this might be easy to take you guys out because you don't have an Air Force. These are the 4 prizes we have. We're considering because there's no Air Force. Speaking to you, to the Russia-China, it kind of makes you weak. It weakens you so much. Oh boy. We know how to weaken you. Which is going to affect them by the judgments, the power, how to take them on from the air, because whatever we do when we come back, we don't have to worry about having an Air Force come. It's like open skies. We get to make the best decisions. Look at everybody looking up and looking at us and what we're doing. It's Russia, China going to be at the mercy because of this one fact. Door number 2, Talibs. The Paki Talibs. 5 of Pentacles. You are SOL. You cannot access these values, the valuables you want in the institution. You know, like how all the bankers are leaving? Everybody is leaving them and stranding them. Because there's no Air Force, there are certain important things they cannot access. They can't get people to start it up. They are locked out of the thing that makes them all warm and happy as being in charge. I mean, be careful what you wish for. And because of that, it's going to hit them. Betrayal. It's going to hit them because the United States is going to set things straight. Looking at you, ISIS, Al-Qaeda. There is no Air Force in Afghanistan. There's no Air Force. We, the White House, have an established Air Force that can move anywhere. We know how to use the stuff on the ground there. You don't. Which means this is going to be an easy conspiracy to pull off. And we're going to be able to assess everything that you're doing on the ground. There have been whispers about our new technology that's coming out as far as being able to massively sort through tons of data points to find out where people are. And I saw the pictures of the Talibs wearing all those U.S. uniforms, the camouflage, and they are using those weapons. And it's like, you guys, those uniforms are booby-trapped. They have your location device. I don't even know what they did to those uniforms and their weapons, but it's like they glow. They glow on the screen if you're going to look for them. They're so easy to find. And they don't know it. They think they're just wearing cool USA stuff. They're sitting ducks. And the big final thing, because there is no Air Force, we've got the 2 of Swords. You make this easy to find you. It is not much effort. 1, 2. Bada bing, bada boom. I see you. The 8 of Swords. Terrorism. Turned on its head. No more. The people that you conspired with, the agents, the governments that set this whole thing up, this whole Afghanistan, let's raid Afghanistan, gone. You're going to be living a nightmare because of this. You can make your life living heck. Now, President Saleh, you have no Air Force. You're strong, because I think of what's set up at that. What is it about? Oh my goodness! Thank you so much. What was the name of that airport again? Why don't we take what's that airport? Someone wrote it. You don't have an Air Force. He has an airport. I don't know how our administration is making him strong, giving him so much strength, but look, he gets to use it against the Russia-China. There's something going on that he is made so strong by this administration. They planned for this fallout plan. President Saleh, you do not have an Air Force. You have a lot of options. You have a lot of help. We are going to try to help you out as much as we can with all of the data, all the information systems that you need. We've already had discussions about this, the Three of Pentacles reverse. We've already made these decisions. We've gotten everything in order for you. It's just a matter of time. And that's our agreement. We'll tell you when it's time to go. You guys, this is so awesome. This keeps showing up with him. There's something going on that is helping him so much. And these yahoos don't know. They don't know at all. They are playing the old game from the Saturn Jupiter of 2000 when Donald was in charge. And even our GOP has not realized that. This is a brand new platform. It's why 2020 sucked so badly. But here, we are going to reap the benefits. The other thing with the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction from last Christmas, I want to find... I wrote this note down because it is just so Saturn-Jupiter. The Christmas star. I'm going to read this again. December 21st, 2020. Like I said, we get a Saturn-Jupiter conjunction every 20 years. The last one happened in Taurus conjunct Donald's midheaven. It helped him a lot. Astrology doesn't lie. As much as you dislike him, it helped him a lot. That's so true. In Aquarius, it hasn't happened in Aquarius since the year 1405. This is the promise of that Saturn-Jupiter. The ancient Persians said that the Saturn-Jupiter Aquarius ushers in a new dynasty that will last for 200 years. And the dynasty continues in 20-year cycles. And it will take the first 10 years to rebuild the dynasty on a world level with global interdependence. So if anyone is going to put money on the Talibs and how they used to do this, pull this crap in the Middle East, you're going to lose. I would not place money on that bet. And as President Biden says, don't bet against the United States. We've seen this pony show, whatever you call that, in 2001. We have learned. We have a North Node return. We've learned all of our lessons. And we've planned, which is the next part I'm going to talk about. How are you guys doing? That's kind of cool, huh? Yes, please give the Queen a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it because that would help support my channel. Yes, for entertainment purposes only. Time to get ready for bed. We'll be listening. Okay, Deb. That's okay. Queen Anderson promise. Yes, what's this promise? Bagram. Yes, thank you. I can't keep this straight. Okay. Awesome. Oh, Leslie, can you look at McMaster talking today? I don't want to. I saw that, and I just, swiped. I'm like, you're such an assholio. I was so mad at him. I'm like, no wonder you came out and had that crappy press conference. Well, whatever Don Holio did, whatever he did when. Oh, what did he say? What did he say? I'm so mad at him. He's on my list, too. Ew, you want a flight Monday from Chicago to Denver with mansion? Did you ask him how much, what part of the Afghanistan investment he gets? I swear to God, that's all Afghanistan is. All these spies have been promised around the world, the spies from different governments. Hang in there, let's keep this war going in Afghanistan. I'll give you a chunk of the pie because there's trillions to be had in Afghanistan. You could be a billionaire, no problem. I think all these assholios are waiting to be the billionaire from Afghans' riches. That's why they want to keep us there. It's midnight here. Okay, good night. Turning us into night owls. Well, happier night owls. I just want to say that glove should have it. Queen, tell the class the importance of 6520. Pamela. I will tell it really quickly. 6/5/20. I don't even know what. Why were we even talking about this? It was the clue that I had. That something was very consequential. That whatever Biden did this day, okay, was super consequential to this full moon that we were having. Like it, super destiny because of the north nodes. There was 11 Gemini in here, but I clicked it all together. I'm like, Biden did something that's so super consequential for what's going to happen, like with the outcome of what's going on in Kabul. Well, thank you. My dear Pamela said, oh, Biden won the nomination on June 5th, 2020. So there's that. There's that fate as well. It was so, because it was a really cool story, but I was like, I can't remember why this is so important. But, you know, it's all about kicking ass. Again. Oh, thank you, Linda. He said a lot of crap, mainly that the Taliban and ISIS were working together, and Biden is a fool for working with Taliban at the airport. Oh, he said that? What? You worked with Trumpo. Okay. Okay. The mama bear. I've got spikes on my head that just grew out because I'm like, what did you say? Oh, okay, where do I start? McMaster? What's this crap you said today? What's this? Like, this deck isn't even worthy. So mad. McMaster. Be a ghost. Poof. Okay, this is the Ghost Tarot. Okay. So McMaster said some things today about the Taliban and ISIS. Of course, so out of line. More of a distraction, not with America's success, and to criticize the current president of the United States, who was once the vice president, who has always wanted to get out. Oh, man, I'm so mad at him right now. I am so mad at him. Okay, put that to the side. Tarot, what the F was he thinking? Show me McMaster. Four of Swords laying low. He has some intelligence. He knows something. He wants to lay low. Why do you want to lay low? Why do you not want anyone to be looking at you? Oh, this he does not want to see. What's that leading to? Oh. Up here, final outcome. And I'm going to do divine intervention. There we go. Well. someone has a Two of Cups in agreement. He went out there trying to lay low because he has a bigger agreement. You know who had this when they showed up in Kabul? Moulton and Meyer. They showed up with the Two of Cups because they had an agreement. Because, oh, we have the Ace of Swords. It's a freaking op. It's a freaking op. To strike. We'll do another one with the... Okay, the Magician. The Magician, this is showing... Okay, oh my gosh, I'm so mad. The Magician card. Looking through all this stuff, especially those two that ended up in Kabul, the Magician, I think, is Saleh, President, Saleh. And the reason why Seth and whatever showed up in Kabul was because of the Two of Cups and the Two of Wands, a plan. Over here. The card, like right here, or in the first house, was the Magician with the No card. No Magician. Saleh shows up as the Magician. I was feeling like Seth and whatever in Kabul, the great adventure, showed up there as intel on the ground, trying to figure out what's going on, because I think they're trying to get Saleh taken out. I could be wrong. We got to read on there too. So he says all that crap because he's trying to lay low, because he's got an agreement. There's an op. I think that's against Saleh. McMaster is covered in, the devil. When I said devil, when I said horns were coming out of my head, that was like I can feel them. Reversed. But we all know, and I will tell you guys, that the tarot throws that I've been doing, asking about whether or not Biden's trip to the UK back in May, June, was that planning for what was going to go down when we eventually get out of Afghanistan. And I got a great big yes. When Biden was in the UK last spring, he kept showing up as the devil. I'm like, why would my wonderful president show up as the devil? He's not the devil. But then I realized the devil, an addiction, it's something you cannot break free from. The devil could also be code, apps, identifying information. Biden was running around the UK, the G7, with the devil, talking with our allies, I think, in my humble opinion, about what they were finding with code from like the ANOM apps, maybe those FBI encrypted apps, putting everything together. He's got this reversed. He is stuck to the devil, is attached to him. I think he got caught on an encrypted app. ANOM, it's the best app ever. No one's made anything like this before. Donald, he's got ANOM and EncroChat all over him all the time. He's such an idiot. I mean, tweeting from the toilet with an unencrypted phone. You think you're going to get tagged with something? What's McMaster's challenge? Oh. Upright, we have the Justice card. Fairness, the scales of balance, and democracy. For Pooty, he's the justice because he's got that sword and he's going to come towards you and cut you all up, just like he's going to cut up democracy. It is Putin destroying democracy. The Justice card is a Putin card for me. So his challenge is Putin trying to accomplish what Putin wants. I'm so mad at him. I need a drink. How are you guys doing? Okay. ANOM. Do I need to do a real quick refresher? ANOM. June 8th. Google it. This is the encrypted app that was made by the FBI by a guy who was a cooperating informant for 2 years. Made this app to sell to the black market for drug dealers, traffickers, smugglers worldwide. They launched these devices in Australia. Thousands and thousands of these devices around the world. And the encryption was that every time this person would send a text, a blind copy of that text was sent to a third country servers. So all in all, there were over 20 million texts that were sent. This is why we're having all these big, giant drug busts of tons of cocaine and fentanyl and all that stuff getting busted. It's going to take a long time to go through all these messages. This was launched in 2018. The FBI made this app, talked with a third country, said, we're sending you all these texts because we're not going to house it here because Don Julio finds out. So the third country was instructed, let us know the content of the texts only if a life is in jeopardy, someone's going to get killed. And they saved like over 100 lives. I think the insurrection was on here, to be honest. So the contract with that third country ran out June 7th. That's why on June 8th, the DOJ had a press conference saying, hey, these are our search warrants. And then that's when everybody found out and everybody flipped out. So McMaster, I was saying, and Donald, this app was used by the highest people in parliaments around the globe. It shows up all the time with Donald. And if Donald's using it and you're in his contact address book, you're going to get tagged just because you're a contact in his directory while he's doing stupid stuff. That's just Donald. I mean, Jared is using it. No, I think McMaster's targeted. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, so we're back to McMaster. I'm sorry. So what's the basis of McMaster saying all this crap? The Chariot. Usually that means you're winning. You're rounding things up. He's a big loser. There's a big riot. Trying to throw things off the rails, or this is how his life is feeling right now with what's going on in Afghanistan. This is not what he wants. What's crowning McMaster? Okay, so I always read these cards wrong. This looks like a King of Pentacles. And usually that's like the Saudis footing the bill for stuff, the Qataris, or it's Donald who's broke. I have no money. So McMaster's broke on top of it, or someone breathing down his neck is broke. You better say this, because in the past, what did McMaster do? This assholio, the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands, is speed, stealth, attack. Because of, I think, how things are going so quickly over in Afghanistan. The GOP really would like to slow this stuff down, and they can't. It's going so fast, so that's why he's talking. So I think this is what he didn't want people to see. The future, the Four of Pentacles, to hang on, because he wants stability. Four of Pentacles stability with these guys is not stability. This is like raping and taking what you want. Not asking questions. I'm just going to take all this and I'm going to sit on it. And if you think it's yours, it's mine. I'm taking it. This is something, I can't believe this is showing up with them. I'm so grossed out. And in the distant future leading to the King of Wands. The King of Wands upright. I'm not sure. MBS. I think this is a king of a leader of another nation that he's like worked something out. Tarot, how do we see McMaster talking? That's a Tower moment. Mars strike force. Yes, that's going on in the ground. That is him trying to deflect the tower, reinvent the tower. It's upside down. There's a lot of suppression going on here. I think he's got a lot of indigestion. The environment with him is the World card. The World card. The world freaking spies descending upon Afghanistan because they want to protect the war in Afghanistan because they want their piece of the pie that they were guaranteed. His hope, talking like that today, was the Ten of Wands, his burdens, to ease his burdens, help get a different narrative out there, lessen how awful this is. It's a huge burden he has. He fears the Queen of Swords, the courts, a nation's laws. So his next steps, that is the Sun reversed, trying to hide their deal, their great big grand scheme deal in Afghanistan. They all want this so badly. So his next steps is trying to kind of, disguise the Sun. Maybe nobody will see what we're trying to do here. Final outcome for him. Six of Swords. Transmitting a new story. I'm just going to take a step out of here. Don't mind me. But there's receipts. And the divine intervention working through all this is the Eight of Cups, the setup, going back to something. He's not going to be able to escape this. He thinks he's walking away. Maybe he will walk away from it, but with the way the nodes and everything is acting, we'll be back. We'll be back. We got a date. So that's what he was doing. How are you guys doing? House in quarantine, daughter had virus, and had pet allergy. Oh, I hope you guys are okay. Paisley, I've been admiring your bracelets this whole time. At first I thought I'd probably to protect my hands. I know. I'm wearing my C-bands today. Oh my gosh, because I was just driving all over the place with practices and lessons, and it's a lot of energy to deal with. And I got a new bracelet from Hawaii, but I was playing with the dog and I threw his toy and there went my bracelet. So I'm like trying to go find that one because I like that one too. So that was him. How are you guys doing? Much love to you, Bonnie Douglas. Phone is at 3%. Okay, we can catch up. Okay, so what did I want to look at? Oh, do they want to get rid of him? That's what yeah. Okay. Okay, I want to know if they're planning to take him out. Because that was what the impression I was getting with Seth and Meyer. Part of the reason why they were there is to scope everything out on the ground and make a plan to have those guys take him out. They don't want him. So, what am I going to... Solid. So... Why are they all M's? So he is a problem. I swear to God, he is a problem for all these people. Tarot, show me Saleh. What does he represent? Show me Saleh. What does he represent? Nope. Show me Saleh. What does he represent? That almost fell out. The Two of Cups. Who does he have an agreement with? What is his agreement? What's at the basis of his agreement? He has an agreement. The Nine of Wands are defenses. He has an agreement to weaken defenses, perhaps? Oh. Wow. What's crowning him? The Seven of Swords. Theft, escape. It's not defeat, it is is like a recovery of assets. This is like recovery. In the past, Two of Pentacles, he's really had to go underground. And think of these Two of Pentacles as like cables and data and communications. He's really had to lay low about this. Really being incognito. Which has led to a craft they have been working on. His agreement. About all the stuff. This is not that it's a bad craft. It's that nobody's supposed to know what he's been working on. So I'm going to stop right there. So he can fight back. Buy more time. Give me 3 cards. We have six swords reversed. There's the Magician. Okay. He is the Magician. This is like undercover information that's been stolen away, stored for him. Because the Four of Cups, this is like these guys, the offers that they've made, like P-boys. Those people here. There's a suggestion, hey, why don't you go do something and terrorize people? I think these are like all, I think he's got the data of the people on the ground here that can cause problems. And see, they are resisting. They're resisting what happened with the Talibs and everyone trying to take over. So McMaster, do you have what's the problem with? Do you have a problem with Saleh? What's your concern about him? Whoops. What's your concern about him? The government, the Hierophant. He's concerned about him with the Afghan government because why? The Four of Cups and what he's been offered. Is that a problem for you, McMaster? The Devil. McMaster has got a major devil problem. He's been tagged. He's like geolocatable. Multa. Who's this guy? Seth. What do you think about President Saleh? Full reversed. He doesn't want him to have his new beginning. He wants to stop his new beginning. They're looking for him, the Hermit. They are searching for him. Why? What's it matter to you, Seth? The King of Pentacles, the man with the money, wants to know where he is. This is a hit job. I think I'm going to get an assassin pay for a hit job. Representative Meyer, what's it to you about Sully? The Three of Swords betrayal, the Three of Swords reversed is setting things right. What does that mean? Setting things right. Why? Five of Wands is the fight. This is the remorse. It matters to him because he's got to set things right because he's remorseful because what did you do? Why does it matter? You served in Iraq. What is he going to do to you? Three of Cups. Conspiracy. He's going to break apart all of his hard work to get the goods. Why? What's the big prize over here? The Ten of Swords. Live another day. The big prize over here. Oh. Yeah, I think he wants something to hit. He wants to get... There's something in it for him if he's out. Okay. Russia, China. What's up with the President Saleh? We have the Page of Pentacles. The young people, the dad. They know he's got data. Intercepts of some sort. He's keeping something. So, what does that mean? The Ace of Pentacles is the power grab opportunity to take Afghanistan and all of her riches. He is preventing them from having all of that opportunity and that enterprise. So what do you want then? You want what with him? The Ten of Wands? They want to ease their burdens and take him out. Ugh. Talibs, what do you think about Saleh? They think the Queen of Cups reversed. He has a lot of support from the United States, and they don't want that. They don't like it. They're not going to support him at all because we've got the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is the new nation being created in Afghanistan with this coup on the government. But the Talib, they also cannot access this newfound nation. And it really bothers them because they want, what do you want? Four of Swords reversed. That looks a little McMaster-ish to me, correct? They want him to come out. They want to find him and get him out. Oh yeah, we'll be nice to women. We'll be really nice to you guys. Isis. What do you think about Saleh? He's caught. He's absolutely caught in the middle of it. We have the Emperor. They know he's the Emperor, you guys. They know he's the rightful leader. What's it to you? This could go either. The Five of Swords, when it all costs, reversed is defeat. They want him defeated, or else they are defeated. They also need him gone. The Republican Party, what do you think about President Saleh? A Page of Wands, a young person with a lot of power and leadership. What's it to ya? The Two of Swords. A decision has been made. He is on their list to target. He's on the Republican Party's list because the Four of Pentacles. They want their stuff. They want to keep their power that they were promised. What were you promised, GOP, out in Afghanistan? The Page of Cups. They were promised something that they really, 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 really want, and the only thing they really, really, really want is money and power. They've had to deliver, smuggle, racketeering in other ways through Afghanistan. Those secrets are coming out. They don't want to have to do this. And now we have the Page of Swords, a spy, the Two of Pentacles reversed. He is throwing off the entire Wheel of Fortune. There you go. He is throwing off all the goodies and bounties and fortune they were promised. Death. They want him dead. He is the star. Say prayers for him, you guys. He is the rightful president right now. How you guys doing? So, we've been going for a while. How long have we been going? I'm not going to do that other thing We asked about August 31st. Let's just get some cards for August 31st and see how this goes. Did I even get to that? How did I get off that? You know what? These are my spy cards. We'll have to get to these guys later. Well, this is why, okay, all these cards up here, this is why Seth and what's his name went to Kabul. And this is what they accomplished while they were there. They had an agreement and a plan to get out there. They were there because the Queen of Swords, the nation without laws, Afghanistan, no magician, no Sele. That's why they were there. Because their values, their substance is the King of Cups being in charge, the Rusher, because this was their world coup. This was the world thing that they had successfully done. The communications they have and what they accomplished right there was intel on the ground about the nightmare, anxiety coming forward. See, I think they might have had a role in like precipitating what happened today. The Eight of Pentacles working at this. What they got accomplished, the Ten of Swords. This is what they got done. And the Moon, the outrage. They saw it on the ground. And now I got to put this on a horoscope because now these are messed up. That's on the ground. Is this the 5th house? 6 swords. Transmitting data. They got an offer to go there to find out for the 10 of Pentacles. The dynasty. The crime families. So that's why they went there. In my humble opinion. But let's just get to the 31st and then I'm going to call it a night, okay? I want you to know from the moment that Don Julio signed that thing in February, our intel was on it with a plan. And they amended those plans. I'll just show you this sheet. What's the U.S. allied big picture of Afghanistan? That's it. The red is why Biden was in the U.K. This is the big op we have going on against the Talibis. So how did Intel start preparing to the counter-Trump, Pompeo thing last February? And this is it on the 29th when they released 5,000 prisoners. They amended it. And then in March when President Ghani said, I wasn't consulted about this. And then those talibs were released. Then with the whole May and June of 2020, the whole EncroChat thing, fallout debacle, they had to amend that. When Rand Paul had an amendment to the Defense Authorization Act, they saw some things. They amended the big plan in this way. When Esper reduced our troops to 5,000, August 8th, 2020, that's how they changed the big plan. And then when Chris Miller, November 17th, had them down to 2,500 troops, this is what they did. This is where all the focus is right now. This is where all the dynamic, consequential karma fate is happening in this area of military. And the red lines are things active right now that Biden got back when he returned, how things were changed. So they've been working on this for a really long time. We're not as blind as people think that we are with this. Okay? Where's the rest? Oh, there's the deck. Okay. Okay, so this will be the last one. Is this document official, my Terrascope? Okay. Marie Sutton, Queen, why didn't Sutton give him a heads up, or did he? Knowing how Biden knows the law and the constitutions, I don't think he needed to give him a heads up. My humble opinion, I think they've been planning and he's been well informed all along the way, especially since Ghani visited the White House in June or May. And he told Biden, no, they're going to fight back. And Biden said, we don't think they will. Like, Biden confronted him before he fled at the White House. He doesn't think his troops are going to fight back. And he said, oh, no, they'll fight back. They didn't fight back, and he fled the country. They had the chatter. They knew what was going on. They've been working on this for a long time because even though Biden wasn't the nominee last February 2020, he still had a security clearance. There have been so many things in place, and it's weird because it's like things are starting to open up that I can see more and more. There's a long time where I could not see a thing, but I could sense they were working on something. Well, they have been. They've had this all planned masterfully on our end. And and then I couldn't, you know how Putin would show these videos of like these incredible state-of-the-art weapons he was developing, and he'd show these big scary videos, and then we'd see it here in the US, and it looked really scary. Well, like they weren't developed yet. I'm like, who's your audience? It always bugged me. Who's your audience? What are you doing this for? And I realized tonight the reason why he was doing that was because he wanted to show everybody who is in on the great big Afghanistan cookie jar how we're going to counter the United States and allies if they interrupt us. Because I'm like, you're just freaking paranoid. No, that's what he's trying to do. Meanwhile, a month ago, they had their great big military aerial show display of weapons. This is very sad for the pilots, but their ILYSHUIN aircraft, supposed to be stealth, this state-of-the-art, that, was going to be launched and displayed at their annual military thing in Moscow. And the plane crashed on its way. An engine was on fire, and it hurtled into the mountains. It's a big firebomb. That has probably gotten scrubbed, but I did retweet that a lot when that first came out. And again, that got scrubbed from the interwebs too. They're not as mighty as they seem to want us to think. Okay, this is for entertainment purposes only. Yes. Okay. Debsy has a phone in her pocket. Are you happy to see me? Okay, show me August 26th. That was today. Six of Pentacles. That was today. Generous? Charitable? What? I think it goes like this. This is very uncharitable and taking everything. Yes. The 27th. Oh my gosh, look at my card's already messed up. This is the 27th. 28th. 29. 30. Oh. No peeking there. McMaster. The 31st. Saleh is the star. Oh man, I hope they don't take it. So this was today. Tomorrow, the 27th. It's already the 27th there. The moon. There's like an established op. There's some outrage going on there. The Magician. Oh boy. Conspiracy. Okay. That's SALEH. 28th. The Knight of Swords. This is a counter op. It could be hackers, but this is just kind of on a war path. Oh, the Queen of Pentacles. That's the new Afghanistan nation with the Talibs in charge. 26, 27, 28, 29. Ouch. So this is on Saturday. There's a big tower moment on Saturday with a network. The Republican Party, Nationalist Party, the Donor Party. What else do I have? Vital interests in the world. They have peaked. Something has peaked. The GOP and the mob. Sunday, this has been malware. This has been McMaster today saying crap. Theft, escape. Was never going to do it anyway. Yes, what is the point person for the emperor? I think that's Biden. Biden shows up as the emperor upright. Like, even with the bad guys, they all think of him as the emperor. Oh, he might be up to some trickery, because here's the star. What happens with the star on the 31st? Oh, 10 of Wands. This is fast data transfer. That's a form of espionage. Who is he pinging him? Ground Zero, Ace of Pentacles. The power is done. Power is done. Decision has been made by the United States. Oh, you see that? By the United States. So the 31st doesn't look so bad to me. I wonder if we're done on the 30th. You know what I mean? I wonder if we get everybody out on this day in our military. We are totally out on the 30th, so we have no crap happening on the 31st. Does that make sense? So that's that. They want to find him. That's that. So I'm going to end it here, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you feel a little better, get a bigger picture about what's going on, what we've been through, what's ahead of us. The worst is behind us. We're still having the fallout. There is a plan. There is a direction. It's going to be horrible and awful, because we're not used to seeing war on our TVs, and war is ugly. And then, people who want to weaponize war against Americans who are supposed to be on the same page. So I hope you have a good evening. We will catch up soon. Thank you so much for your generous donations. I so appreciate it. Take care. I'll see you on the Twitter. Have a good night. Have a nice evening. Your dad's going to be 101 on Saturday. Happy birthday, Dad. Larry. Yes, Laura. Yes, thank you, Katrina. Happy birthday in heaven to Larry's dad. Thank you, Pamela. Thank you, Leela. Thank you, Paisley. GM Dave. Right, I totally agree with you, GM Dave. You don't need the funding. Thank you, Carmen. Thank you, Martine. Thank you, Pauline, Lila, Skyrider. Okay, have a good night. Good night. Thank you. Thank you, Lanny. Bye. Bye, Rolando. Good night.